This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. This is election day for some parts of the country, including here on the Suncoast. City of Venice residents are heading to the polls with one major issue in mind. That's
right. It concerns the future of the city. ABC7's Christopher Brantley joins us live from Venice with more. Christopher?
Good evening. As many voters see it, the city's future is at stake in this election, or at least its future development.
I really am concerned about overgrowth, everything becoming a cement instead of grass.
Venice voters seem to be united around one issue this election season.
The issue at hand with this particular race is growth, but manageable growth.
Vicky Torello fears home developers have free reign of wherever they want to build within the city, thanks to elected council members.
The city council has been doing a wonderful job of allowing developers to waive their fees, and they pass it on to the taxpayers.
While Torello is unhappy with the current city council's stand on developers, council members must consider every developer's request.
The development proposals that come before council are carefully crafted by developers to get approval.
Bob Mudge is the senior writer for the Venice Gondolier Sun newspapers and ABC7 coverage partner.
If the city cannot articulate a good basis under the law to say no to something, that is risking a lawsuit.
The candidates are split. For seat 1, Emilio Carlissimo, who has served on city council before, has voted in favor of developers. His opponent, Mitzi Feidler, ran against developers. For seat 2, incumbent Deborah Anderson has voted against developers, while her opponent, Chuck Newsom, has said he's open to development.
In general, a vibrant community needs to grow. And the two camps, if you will, go across all spectrums of the community.
Mudge has heard plenty of people for development, especially those who want to see the city continue to grow. Either way, there may be a wake-up call when the newly elected council members take their seat on day 1.
To actually be put in the chair where you're making a decision, and there's a possibility that if you say no to something, you could end up in a lawsuit for taking somebody's property rights away from them.
This election does have the power to swing the balance either for or against developers with the 7-person council. The polls are open for another 2 hours out here until 7 p.m. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Christopher. Residents in Manatee County also took to the polls today to cast their ballot in multiple elections. Bradenton Beach, Holmes Beach, and Anna Maria Island voters will decide who will fill their open commission seats. In addition, the city of Bradenton Beach and Holmes Beach residents also have several charter amendments to consider. Bradenton Beach residents will also cast ballots in the highly contested mayoral race, where John Chappie, the former Manatee County Commissioner, who is also a former Bradenton Beach mayor, is hoping to unseat the current mayor, William Sheeran. The race is expected to bring out a large majority of the area's registered voters, and earlier today we heard from those on both sides.
He is by far the most qualified individual and has done most for the city. That's why I support Bill Sheeran.
I've been a resident here. I'm into my 44th year, and it's home. And I just love being involved in our community.
Combined, the 3 island municipalities have about 4,600 registered voters. The polls again close at 7 o'clock, and so far there are no results that are being reported. Well, it was a beautiful day outside today. That fog kind of burned off pretty quick. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, it'll be back again. Some patchy fog. It doesn't appear to be a widespread event, but beautiful out there right now. Looking out on the bay, you can see calm conditions out there. A lot of boaters taking advantage of the gorgeous weather this afternoon. It couldn't be better for that. We have had some generally light winds, although they picked up a little bit this afternoon as expected out of the northwest once that sea breeze kicked in. Now, currently, we do have some sunny skies out there. A few clouds around, not many. 79 on the temperature, and the dew point temperature is still fairly high for this time of year, 66. And winds are out of the north-northwest at 12. The pressure on the rise at 30 inches even, and that will continue to do so throughout the evening. Temperatures are a bit warmer away from the water now. 84 Avon Park, the same in Arcadia, Northport. A couple degrees cooler than that, 83 degrees, but 70s in Venice, Inglewood, and Sarasota, as well as into Cortez, Anna Maria at 78 degrees. The Gulf water temperature now 75 degrees. And as far as the evening planner goes, if you have any outdoor activities planned, not a problem. Temperatures into the upper 60s by 11 o'clock. More on your forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Breaking news out of Pasco County tonight. The sheriff's office has confirmed 8-time Major League Baseball pitching all-star Roy Halladay has died in a plane crash. Deputies say the single-engine plane crashed in the Gulf of Mexico this afternoon. The Swift Water Response Team and Marine Unit is investigating that crash. It is still under investigation, and we will provide more information as it becomes available.
Following up on the search for a suspected child molester in Manatee County, the sheriff's office reporting Thomas Basone turned himself into authorities. He's charged with lewd and lascivious molestation of a 13-year-old girl. Deputies say he knew the victim, the victim knew the suspect before this incident. He's also charged with harassing the victim. And check your credit card statement. Sarasota police say 7 skimming devices were found on the gas pumps at the Quick Station. That's the one at the intersection of Fruitville and Beneva Roads in Sarasota. It's unknown how long those skimmers were on the pumps, but the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Protection Services says those pumps were last checked in April. The owner of the gas station said he didn't know the skimmers were there. To prevent falling victim in the future, SPD says to choose a pump that's close to the store entrance, use a credit card over a debit card, and pay with cash when possible.
Questions remain this evening as to how Texas mass killer Devin Kelly was able to buy firearms despite his history of domestic violence. This as the small town continues to mourn over the loss of the 26 people gunned down inside a church. ABC's Maggie Ruley has the latest from Sutherland Springs, Texas.
Today, questions remain as to how Devin Kelly, the gunman in the Texas church massacre, was able to legally buy a gun despite his past criminal convictions of extremely violent domestic abuse against his wife and her infant child, a charge that led to a court-martial for the Air Force veteran.
There was nothing in our databases that precluded him from purchasing a firearm.
The Air Force now admitting they never forwarded the information about his conviction to the FBI database. And we're now learning that in 2012, Kelly escaped from a behavior center and tried to carry out death threats against his military chain of command.
We got all these questions with the Air Force right now, which is how did this get slipped through the cracks?
But many argue the political conversation around Sunday's mass shooting should not focus on the Air Force, but rather on gun control.
We need common sense gun reform.
When asked about extreme vetting on gun purchases during his trip to South Korea, President Trump says gun control might have kept the hero from shooting the gunman.
If he didn't have a gun, instead of having 26 dead, he would have had hundreds more dead.
As politicians argue, this small town is left reeling from an unfathomable loss. That brave man who stepped in, he says he only wishes he could have saved more lives.
I'm no hero. I am not. And I just wish I could have gotten there faster.
And for the survivors, they say the memories from inside that church will haunt them forever.
People screaming and people crying and "Mama, where are you, Mama?" The little kids.
The shooter's cell phone's currently with the FBI. Agents say it's heavily encrypted and it could take them weeks to break in. But right now they do believe that the shooter acted alone. Maggie Ruley, ABC News, Sutherland Springs, Texas.
U.S. Senator Bill Nelson wants the Federal Department of Labor to help victims of Hurricane Irma who were put out of work. Senator Nelson says he's heard multiple accounts of Floridians put out of work but unable to apply for disaster assistance. Nelson said applicants are being disqualified and their answers for benefits are being rejected. The State Department of Economic Opportunity oversees Florida's unemployment system and disputes those claims.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with a kind of a mixed market on Wall Street today. Richard?
Scott, I think I'll quote William Shakespeare, much ado about nothing. That's exactly what was the case on Wall Street today. The top to bottom range was 118 points, but when the final bell rang, one of the indices we follow was up by 0.04%. One was down by 0.02%. So the bottom line, not a whole lot going on. Let's take a look at the figures as of 4 o'clock. There you see, there's the up arrow, and technically that's a record. The Dow at 23,557.23, a gain of almost 9 points, and there it is, 0.04%. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ, the only move of any consequence for the day, down just over 0.25%, down almost 19 points at 6,767.78. That on volume of 1,607,000,000 shares. In the other shining star, the S&P down by 0.02%, 1/2 of 1 point at 2,590.64. Well, every once in a while we get surprised by earnings reports, and certainly the surprise today by Royal Caribbean Lines. And why? Well, take a look at what's going on in the Caribbean, what's going on in Puerto Rico. So who would think possibly that they would have good earnings? But in fact, their earnings came in well ahead of Wall Street expectations, top and bottom. They beat them both. The stock was up by more than 3% today. And perhaps the biggest surprise of all, they said their backlog for cruises in the Caribbean in 2018 is bigger than it has ever been. Sometimes I just can't figure things out. Sorry about that.
That's okay, Richard. Any news on Weight Watchers?
Big news on Weight Watchers. The stock was up by 13% today. I think they call that the Oprah effect. She's done very well. The company has added 600,000 new members in the last 12 months. That is impressive.
The power of Oprah.
Exactly right.
It's formidable at times. Yeah, all right. All right, Richard, thanks so much.
You are very welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight. The next step in bringing a new high school to Parrish, when North River High School is expected to open to its students.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. And could items in your home aiming to keep you healthy actually hurt your health? We'll have that story in Health Smart.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
If you have Medicare, I have 3 things you'll want to hear. There's an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana. It includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage, and it may save you money in so many ways. It's all in this book, and it's yours free just for calling. You'll see all the ways the plan might save you money, even on prescription drugs. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,500 on average on their prescription costs. And you get all this coverage with an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. Even if you've looked at Humana before, you need to take another look at this plan. We'll send you the decision guide absolutely free, in a slightly smaller size, of course. Discover the all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan that could cut your costs and cover your prescriptions. Call 1-800-824-8241 or go to humanabigbook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
East Manatee County is one step closer to opening a new high school for its growing community. The Manatee County School District breaking ground for North River High School this morning. The 98-acre site is located at the southeast corner of Martha Road and Erie Road in Parrish. Superintendent Dr. Diana Green says the high school will provide relief to the overcrowding at Lakewood Ranch, Palmetto, and Braden River High Schools.
It seems like when you have the groundbreaking ceremony, it starts the reality that we're going to build a brand new high school, one that this community has asked for many years.
The project is expected to cost $90 million and is funded by the county's half-cent sales tax. North River will be the first high school to open since Braden River in 2005, and it's scheduled to open in August of 2019.
University of South Florida Sarasota Manatee is trying to raise at least $10 million for a new building on campus. The projected cost for the science and undergraduate research building is $35 million. It will create specialized space for biology and chemistry students, including labs, lecture halls, and classrooms. Staff and faculty believe the building is needed since the demand for STEM jobs is growing.
We need to have more graduates in the STEM fields to fill the workforce demands, not only here locally, but nationally. And so one of the ways that we can do that is to have the state-of-the-art facilities that are necessary in order to be able to provide the proper education for those students.
School's Board of Trustees has already approved the project. Now it will head to the Board of Governors and then the state legislature for funding and final approval. And a nice day here on the Suncoast. Not as much fog around this morning, Bob, which is nice.
No, not at all. That's a great program, by the way. I was just teaching my daughter today some lessons on controlled variables with science. She had the day off because she wasn't feeling too well, but science is a very important thing, and it looks like they're going to take care of that right there. A lot of meteorologists we need, too, in the future. We are looking at some gorgeous weather today. Here's the Casey Key webcam showing clear skies out there today. A nice day out on the waters as a result, again, of high pressure, which is not going anywhere, but sometimes that high pressure can allow the atmosphere to become a little stagnant. We don't get much mixing, and there's a possibility of fog forming, and we'll see that again. But that's about the only downside to our weather. Look at this beautiful day out in Venice. Sydney getting this one. Desmond, a nice, beautiful shot of the fair weather cumulus clouds out there. And boy, beautiful blue skies. Dew point temperatures are a little higher than average, into the mid-60s to upper 60s, but not much. Right now, 66 degrees in Sarasota. It's now 63-degree temperature, dew point, that is, anyway, in Orlando. We look at these to see where the fog may form. As the temperature cools down to this number, the winds lessen, and we have clear skies. There's always that possibility of some fog forming, which can be a problem, especially for drivers. On into work in the morning, 70 degrees now. That's what we're expecting by 11 o'clock, so pretty warm at 11 under clear skies, and we'll stay away from that dew point temperature till then, too, so there shouldn't be much fog through the evening. Dew point temperature at 66, humidity at 64%. And the barometer now north, actually 30 inches, even the winds are out of the north-northwest. They've picked up a little bit at 12 miles an hour. They were at 5 to 10 earlier this morning. Now the forecast tomorrow doesn't change much at all. High temperatures will warm into the low 80s, which is fairly seasonal. Another beautiful November day, and sunshine expected right on in through much of it, and it looks as though we will see temperatures slightly above average in the inland areas like we saw today. Mid-80s, not out of the question in places like Sebring, Arcadia, Wauchula, as well as Lakewood Ranch and Parrish. And as far as the temperature forecast goes, 7 a.m. Looks like temperatures in the low 60s once again, upper 60s near Fort Myers, 63 in Orlando, and then we will warm up into the, again, looks like basically low to mid 80s. Downtown Sarasota a little bit warmer there at 84 degrees, and 65 for low on into Thursday morning. Winds will be out of the north and the northwest through this evening, turning to the northeast in the late afternoon, and then a little bit of a breeze, I should say, coming out of the northwest. Once again, that sea breeze will kick in later on in the day on Wednesdays. It always keeps things just a little bit cooler near the coast, like we're seeing right now, with mid-70s at Siesta Key and Holmes Beach, and as well as into Venice and Nokomis. Now, the enhanced satellite imagery of our tropical system. Hard to believe we're still tracking tropical systems. It's a tropical storm now, Rena, and it heads off to the north. You can see it's being sheared apart a little bit, with most of the storms well to the north of the center being right there, though quite a bit of deep convection to the north and east of it. And as far as the current conditions go, the winds are at 45. It's moving to the north at 18 miles an hour. Pressure has actually been dropping somewhat throughout the afternoon, and it will quickly fade away as it enters into the cold waters of the North Atlantic. So no problems in any land area there. Well, with this zonal flow, we don't see a big drop in temperatures down south. Right now, that cold air is there over the northern plain states and into the northern Rockies, only into the 20s and 30s, Denver at 29. But just to the south of Denver, Albuquerque at 61, 43 in Kansas City, and 76 in Atlanta. So it's getting close to the south, but not close enough. And we're not going to see any big chill here for some time, it looks like. Over the upcoming at least 7 days, things are going to stay at or slightly above average. For boaters tomorrow, winds out of the northeast, turning to the north at 10 knots. Seas will be running 2 feet or less with a light chop in the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now is 75 degrees and 81 for high near the beach. As I mentioned, a little bit warmer away from the water. Low tide at 8:54 and sunset 5:36, sunrise 7:08. Tonight, more of the same, mostly fair, some patchy fog and pretty much mild conditions, mid-60s. Tomorrow, sunny after the fog burns off in some areas, won't be everywhere. 83, the extended forecast, not much change there, and looking pretty good. Upper 70s both on Sunday and Tuesday. Back to you.
All right, Bob, in first alert traffic right now, there's some backup on the Ringling Bridge as drivers try to head back to the mainland, even some as you approach St. Armand Circle there. And then there's also a crash in the southbound US 41 lanes. It's blocking one lane, and it is causing some congestion. Looks like some construction work up there happening and slowing traffic. Fruitville also slow going as well. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, you may be surprised at some of the items in your home that may be affecting your health. Researchers at George Washington University found 45 toxic chemicals that are commonly found in your home's dust, and 10 of those toxins are found in 90% of homes across America. South Carolina State University researchers also found paraffin-based candles emit toxic chemicals, and there's no need to buy antibacterial soap because there's no evidence that it's better than plain soap and water. Well, a new smartphone app tracks where people are sick in your area. The app, called Sick Weather, scans social networks to find who and where someone is battling an illness. In Northport, the app shows residents are fighting a cough, allergies, and the flu right now. But local doctors say the results may not be accurate because some patients could be self-diagnosing their illnesses. And not all medical conditions are easily visible on the surface. Some are often misunderstood. Our Undercover Illness series continues tonight with an in-depth look at depression. It's the most common mental disorder in the U.S., and if left untreated, it can be deadly. Victims of depression oftentimes feel worthless or guilty, the disorder even leading to thoughts of death or suicide.
It's not like your typical feeling bad one day and you know, okay, I'm sad because my dog died, you know, something like that. No, it's not like that, because those are things that happen, and you know eventually you'll get over it. But this is like a dark cloud that just hangs over and it just never leaves.
ABC7's Jess Dowdrick is digging deeper into this undercover illness. Tonight at 6, you'll hear the heartbreaking story of a man who suffers from major depression and says it's hard to find a reason to live each morning. Coming up, a toddler escapes death after a car crashed into his room while he was sleeping. And the debris from Hurricane Irma is piling up in one Florida neighborhood, why they believe it could be affecting their health.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $279 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
A suspected car thief leads police on a high-speed chase in Los Angeles. Officers began chasing this stolen Ford Mustang late last night. The driver sped through streets at speeds of more than 100 miles an hour, going through red lights, residential neighborhoods, and at times on the wrong side of the road. The chase continued for more than an hour before California Highway Patrol could block him. Fortunately, no one was injured in this chase.
Well, a car crashed into a family's home in Michigan Sunday morning where a 1-year-old was sleeping. The impact punched a hole in the pack-and-play where he was sleeping and sent it skidding across the room. The driver didn't have any intention of staying either. According to the baby's mother, she saw him drive away. Other than being a little shaken, the baby was fine.
I picked him up and he had glass in his hair and dirt and all kinds of... But I brushed him off and felt him all over, and he was fine. He was just fine.
His mom says she saw the man stop at the stop sign and make a left turn. She wants that driver held responsible to make sure something like this does not happen again. Police are still investigating what happened, and today there is still no word on who it was behind the wheel of that car. Meanwhile, in South Florida, a mountain of debris from Hurricane Irma has people upset and worried about their health. The residents of one development found it building up in early October with no warning. The trucks just kept on coming for weeks, and the debris piles continued to rise 20, even 30 feet in the air. Now residents say they're not feeling well. Miami-Dade Solid Waste left a letter saying that the trucks would stop dumping on November 1st, but as of that date, the trucks are still arriving.
Scientists are now able to see the light shows known as auroras on Jupiter. They found the auroras on that planet behave independently of each other, whereas here on Earth, the auroras on the North and South Pole mirror each other. The auroras are also much larger on Jupiter, with each one measuring about half the size of Earth. They're huge.
So interesting how science and all of that is just
kind of
plays
parallels,
out.
yeah, each other and our planets.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, Sarasota's most dangerous streets will be getting more patrolling starting next week. We have a list of the roads affected.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
Do you need a good laugh? Starting November 1st at the Players Center, everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the smash hit comedy Moon Over Buffalo. This wild Broadway series production shows what happens both on stage and off. Contact the Players at 365-2494 or at theplayers.org. The show must go on with Moon Over Buffalo.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.